Hello lovelies, this is Robin Dudley House, the Artsy Bohemian, coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. And it's here, finally! I have the bundles made. I think you're going to love them, at least I hope you will. I had a lot of fun. They took way longer than I thought they would. I'm going to pull this out and then I'm going to pull it back in. So what I'm going to do, the way I'm going to show you this is I'm going to show you what's inside the deluxe bundle, and then I have another one that is number 2. So this is number 1, then I have a Shabby textile bundle number 2. Before I even start though, I wanted to tell you that I had such a great response, and I know you guys have been waiting for these, and I will be posting them today. Hopefully, if nothing goes wrong with my camera, I have to upload everything to my Etsy store. And it will, I live on the West Coast in California. So these bundles will go live, cross my fingers, at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hopefully you'll get what you want. And I'm going to go ahead and start. So first of all, also, each bundle is completely different. There's some similarities, but because of the nature of the textiles, you will be getting different doilies. I mean, you're going to get the same amount in each kit or each bundle, but they're going to be slightly different just because these are one-of-a-kind things. So this is how beautiful the deluxe bundle is going to look. I will unpackage this, but first I guess I'll go ahead and show you. So each of the deluxe bundles are going to be completely, well, they're going to be similar in the design, but they're going to have different decoration on them. So this is just one. I will show you what each one looks like in after I show you what's actually inside of the bundles, but you will be getting a handmade 12-inch boho tassel. It comes off, so you don't have to keep it on. You can use it for another project. It comes wrapped in this beautiful organza, which is Swiss organza from the 1950s. A vintage, this is new old stock, Czechoslovakian crystal button. And then it's tied like this with some paper flowers. And there's a pocket here. Excuse me, getting over a cold. Each one will come with a vintage postcard, a real vintage, well actually they're antique. The difference between antique and vintage is that antique is 100 years or older, and vintage is anything after 2000. So an antique postcard, a real one, they're all going to be different. They're all going to be pretty though, and a authentic bingo card, vintage, maybe even antique. And you'll see that each one, this is the similar design that I did a tutorial on in one of my Tuesday tutorials. If I remember, I'll put a link to that. This is this buckle here is real crystal, rhinestone. It's not plastic. Pretty much everything I've used on everything is old, either antique or vintage. And it's been coffee dyed. I've hand stamped the back and I put my signature on each one. It's been hand stamped, coffee dyed, gessoed, and then I did an extra dabbing of ink on there to make it look a little bit older too. So, and then each one has some kind of flap on it made with a few layers of vintage doilies, and then the goodies are inside. They're going to be inside. I hope they'll fit. If they don't, they'll be packaged in a separate little bag as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you, and I had to write this out on a piece of paper so I wouldn't forget what's inside. So the deluxe bundle has about, let's see, 34 pieces in it altogether. And I'm just going to put this to the side so I don't lose it. So there's 5 doilies, And again, they are all different, and I tried to mix them up. Most of them are vintage, maybe even antique. There might be a few newer pieces in here. They've been washed, gently washed in my bathtub 2 to 3 times so that they are clean. All the doilies are clean. So here's a sampling of what you will get. Some of them might have stains in them. I wasn't able to remove them, but I don't mind stains. So, but very few of them do. Some of them might have a little bit of holes in them, but I really tried avoiding putting any that had holes in them. So there's a stack of 5, and they come all bundled like this, and they'll fit in your cute altered file folder. So I'm going to move these out. And then I hand stamped some beautiful lavender sachet bags. So I bought these sachet bags and then I hand stamped them. This saying is just for you in French. It's Rang pour toi. I don't know how to say French. I'm very bad at speaking French. But that's what that is. So I hand stamped those, and each you'll get one of these. And these are lovely to put in your drawer with your doilies, so that when you open up your drawer, it smells pretty. So I'm going to set this here. Excuse me. So I put everything out here so you could see how much there was in this particular kit. Each one will also get, I'm going to put my thing over here so I can see it. So I showed you the tiny doily that goes in the pocket in the front of the bundle, the altered file folder. And again, they will be all different. These are old, and they're so cute. So you'll get one of those that's tucked in the pocket on the folder on the front. This one, you'll be getting 3 pieces of this. Also, it's very old. I started looking up vintage laces. I cannot believe how expensive they are. So I'm very fortunate that I've been collecting for years now, and so I have a nice stash. So you'll get 3 pieces of this, and these are wonderful. You can cut them so that you can just use one piece. Excuse me. Most all of the vintage textiles are made from cotton, so they're easy to excuse me to dye. You'll also get this beautiful 18 inches of this beautiful rose pattern filet lace. It's kind of an ecru color. You'll also get one of these beautiful cards of mine, and I've wrapped the I believe, I was looking online, and I think this is what they called bobbin lace. I'm pretty sure it's old, and there's a yard of that in there. You're also going to get a vintage postcard like I showed you earlier. It goes in the pocket. So there's a I have a really nice mix. They're all authentic. The real deal. They're not a copy. You also get one of my handmade Shabby button cards. And there's all of these are vintage, or maybe even antique. Some of them are mother of pearl. And then there's an extra little bag with 10 more. Just an assortment of little vintage buttons. You're also going to get 8 yo-yos. These are from the 1930s, and it's a random mix. It's going to be, you can tea dye these if they're too bright for you. And then you're going to also get this beautiful rose burlap bag, and inside there are 5 new appliques. There's not a lot of new stuff that I put in these bundles, so but I bought these specifically to sell. I'm lucky because I live pretty close to downtown LA, so you can go down there and get pretty good deals. So you're going to get 5 appliques. There's a set of these cute angel wings. These are all dyeable as well. And a heart, a butterfly, And then this other heart. I actually have another butterfly too that goes in here. The tiny one. It's really cute. Did I leave it in here? Oh, here it is. This little tiny guy. So you'll get all of that in here. I think you're just gonna go crazy when you see these in person. Everything together. It's gonna be so fun. And then the icing on the cake is these are one-of-a-kind pieces. So these are very old pieces of lace. Each bundle comes with about a 12 to 18 inch piece, and it's very delicate, and it's also been gently washed 2 to 3 times, but it'll have markings on it because it is very old. So this is also one of those things that each bundle will be a little different, but they're all these amazing, 4 to 6 inch long pieces, wide, I should say, wide, 6 inches wide, 4 to 6 inches wide, and you'll get about 12 to 18 inches of this very old lace, possibly antique. All of this is antique or old. Some of them you'll get a whole piece because I don't want to cut it. I think there's a couple collars in here. So that's part of the deluxe bundle. You'll also get this cute dress form that I die cut and hand stamped some bias tape on there with a button. You'll also get a yard of unstamped bias tape. It's this wonderful tan color that looks vintage. And also you will get, this is another thing that's going to be one of a kind. I'm just going to start from the bottom here. I only had one of each of these. They're very old, and each bundle will come with one large piece of a vintage textile. So they're the whole piece. Take this off. I'm not sure if this one is one I'm going to use. So it used to be that I would just hoard all this stuff, but you can't can't keep doing that. Might as well share the. Let me put this up a little closer. So there's one amazing piece. This one I love. And there is a stain on it, but what are you gonna do? It's old. And like I said, it's been washed, so. This one's pretty amazing. So this has initials on it that have been, well, let me show you the full thing first. This looks really old. It has the drawn, I think it was called drawn out, where they will pull threads to make a pattern. And this is the coolest thing. It has this hand embroidered initials on it. I think it's SMG or SMC. I'm not exactly sure, but it's so amazing, I think. So that's another one that will be, and it's random. It's going to be whatever kit I put. Each one is going to be equally gorgeous. So this is another one. This is really cool. It's a crocheted. It looked like maybe it was for a doily that was, the inside was taken out. So this would make a pretty banner. You could cut one end if you wanted and make a really pretty banner, or put it as a curtain, drape it over a little window in your room. This one's amazing. I almost didn't want to put this in the kit, but again, just gotta start moving stuff. So I think this is also bobbin lace. I can't be sure. I really don't know a whole lot about lace. I just know what's old and what's not, because of the way it feels, and most everything was made with cotton. There's no synthetics. There weren't a lot of synthetic fabrics or threads to use. So this is pretty amazing. So it's a nice size piece. It's really, really sweet. And then this one's amazing. I love this one. It has a butterfly pattern in it. So you can see the butterflies going around it. And this one might also be bobbin lace. I only know because of this particular way that they would stitch it. There's this like pattern here that seemed to be one of the main factors of bobbin lace. And then this is called a pineapple pattern, and it's really cool. I love the shape of it. That will also be one of the special one-of-a-kind pieces, and this is also an amazing piece. I think this is also similar to what I was talking about earlier, where they would take a piece of fabric and then pull threads out to make these designs. But don't quote me on that, I'm not exactly sure. And this is a beautiful piece. This one does have, it's a little fragile, and there's a couple little pieces of string that are broken off, but it's pretty amazing. And then on top of it all, you will get a wonderful piece of cotton fabric in a cottage rose pattern. I have 3 different colors. If you don't tell me what you want, what color you want when you order this, then I'll just put whatever is in there. But honestly, they're all gorgeous. So there's one that has lavender, cabbage roses, this one, and then like a gray, kind of a gray background. This one is a beautiful aqua, pale blue aqua color with like a peach and white cream rose pattern. And then this one is pink and green with a cream, kind of a butterscotch color, not butterscotch, I guess, yeah, cream color background. So these are 8.5 by 11, so they're great to use to make a journal cover. And just let me know if you want one color over the other. You have to let me know in the comments, though. You can't just assume that I'll send you, you know, this one or that one. That's the only thing on these bundles, that you'll just let me know what you prefer. Okay? And I have enough of it so that if I don't have, you know, if everybody wants this one, I have enough to do all of that. And I only have 7 of these bundles because as you can see, being that everything is one of a kind, I you know, I do have quite a bit in my stash, but I don't have a ton. So let me show you what the I'm gonna take this away. Let me show you what the altered file folders look like one by one. I'm gonna put these back here. I spent most of the morning just bundling everything up to make sure I had enough. So I'm going to show you what each one looks like individually. These will be in one listing, but there'll be 7 in the drop-down menu that you can order. I will send whatever I have, and because honestly they're all pretty much the same, a little bit different design. This is the one I showed you initially, the first one. They might have, you know, a different image on the pocket here, but they all kind of have the beautiful flap on them made with a few layers of doilies, and they've all been hand stamped on the back and signed by me. They all come with a tassel. These don't have all the stuff on them just yet. making packaging is so much fun for me. It allows me to be creative, and instead of just throwing a bunch of stuff in a bag and sending it off. And I know you guys appreciate this because this is what you do as well, so you know how fun it is. And I was really happy to see the response that I had from y'all. So I got to work on these as soon as I could, and here you have it. So those were all the, there's 7 of the deluxe bundles, and like I said, I'll be listing them at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's West Coast time. In my Etsy store. There will be a link down below. Okay, so the next one is super cute. I've made these in the past before, and I believe I have a tutorial on these as well. Okay, so let's see here. How am I going to do this? So these are a smaller bundle. I believe there's 12 pieces in this one. 12 or 13. The deluxe bundle has about 34 pieces in it, so it's quite a big difference. I will show you the contents of what's inside, and then I will show you each one individually. These ones will be listed as individual listings, only because each one is different. Even though the layout is pretty much the same, the images I use are pretty much different on every single one, and I have 11 of these bundles available. So let's see, what do I have here? So on this one I have, you're going to get a bundle of 3 doilies, and I've kind of packaged them like this, and they fit inside of the altered file folder. And again, they will be completely different because they're vintage. They've all been washed as well, and you'll get a really nice selection, probably of like a small, medium, large. So those are that, and you're going to also get inside of this. This has been coffee dyed, this bag. So you'll get this bag, and it has some goodies in it. So you'll get one of my handmade button cards as well. Some of the yo-yos, the 1930s yo-yos. You'll get some hand-stamped bias tape on this cute dress form that's been die cut. This one is also a really pretty card that has been die cut. You'll get, I think I have a foot of each one of these. This one's vintage. They're both vintage, but this one I think is older. And then this is super cute. This is trim that I love to use, and I had a bunch of it. So you get a yard of this, and it's super cute and tiny and dainty. I use it on quite a bit of my bags. Let's see if I have it on one of these here. Let's see, I think it's on this one. No. Well, I can't find it right now, but I use it quite a bit. So that, and then see, 2 feet, a yard, and then the hand stamp bias tape. You'll get one of these adorable altered file folders. It's half the size of the deluxe, and there's all this beautiful trim on here. Some of them have Tim Holtz, some of them are images from my personal stash with some vintage lace trim. I don't know if I put anything in the pocket because it was so stuffed. Then again, there's this really pretty flap, and I'll show you each one, so because they're all different, with some layered bows and some vintage doilies. You'll also get one of the hand-stamped lavender pouches, and this is where I will add the doilies inside of here. Yeah, all of the file folders on these particular ones have been coffee dyed and stamped. I didn't do the gesso on these ones. And you also get another little glassy bag with some extra vintage buttons in it. So I'm going to show you each one individually. And like I said, I will load them individually on my Etsy store. And these ones are bundle number 2. But you'll just see them on the in the listings as Shabby Textile Bundle, and they'll be listed separately. So there's one. Here's another one. Grab a couple here. They're so fun to look at once they're all done. This has a bird theme on it. I think the bird is from the Graphics Fairy, and each one has a hand-dyed glassine bag on it, so you can add goodies inside of there. And this nice little cluster on the side. Cute little girl. She's from Paper Whimsy, that image. And these, the backgrounds are postcards of mine. They're just the backs of old postcards that I copied and printed. Everyone has a little bulb pin with a button on it, and then I did sign all of these as well. I will only have one picture because it would take me forever, as some of you know who have an Etsy store, to download, take all the pictures, edit them, and then download them to Etsy. I'm just going to have one picture. I figured having a video is enough so that you knew what they look like. This one is a little bit brighter than I normally do, but I love the colors yellow and red together. It's really sweet and colorful. This image is from Red Lead Paperworks. And then there's this wonderful layering of squished up doilies and lace and bag. This one is in a blue-green color. I love the way this one came out too. This is very, very old lace. It's gorgeous. It's on here. They're all different, but you can kind of see the way that I did everything. I did a flap, I did a bundle on the right bottom side, and then I did a focal on the front with some trims and stuff on the side here. More neutral colors. Lots of layers of really pretty laces. Oops, this one looks like it's stuck. And the little bundle, the little cluster down here. And there's some more. Rhinestone, cluster of dyed silk, pretty pinks and greens. Cute birdie with a little boy on top of him. Tim Holtz, of course. I think the bird's from the Graphics Fairy, and this cute little bundle, cluster down here. Another sweet one. I just really love all of them. I think no matter which one you get, you'll love it. At least I hope you love it. I might be fooling myself. You might not like these at all, so. But I sure had fun making them. This is some vintage burnt out velvet on here that I kind of squished together and made a pretty little layering there. There's one of those cute little butterfly appliques that you'll get in the kit. Bundle. I keep saying kit. Who's that sweet little girl again? Layers of Tim Holtz die cuts. And then the last one. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. I had fun making everything, and I will see you on Etsy.